Olivia, you're going viral. Can you tell us a little bit of your backstory, though? You originally went viral and, got a lot of recognition because you failed a class or a project because you said that there are only two genders. Now, why would you be a bigot like that and say that? I'm on the professor's side.
Oh goodness, it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, about a year and a half ago, I was failed at University of Cincinnati for using the term biological woman. I was told it was transphobic, contributed to heteronormativity, still don't know what that means, and that I was a white supremacist for saying that. Once again, don't know how that correlates. But fast track to 2 days ago at University of Washington, I was talking on campus to share my story and advocate for the protection of women's sports and free speech, of course. And I did not actually get to have my event. We had over 200 protesters, violent protesters, Antifa, self-proclaimed Antifa, the LGBTQ crowd at University of Washington essentially forced me to shut down my event, but I absolutely will be back.
I mean, let's be real. They shut you guys down, and I've been shut down before, but do those guys even look threatening? They're sashaying. I mean, what are they? Look at them. They're doing a choreographed dance. I mean, come on. Why would they be afraid of them? So they did break some glass, but other than them doing a gay pride parade outside of the event, was there anything, did anybody get hurt? Did anybody get physically attacked before the event?
I don't know that anyone got physically hurt, but they did essentially block us into the building, and we felt like we were being held hostage in the room. They blocked all the entrance and exit points of the building, so we could not get out. They down the doors, flashing lights, yelling like maniacs, like "Let us in!" Which one of the videos I posted on X. Some protesters actually got in the building and had red balloons filled with helium, and it said like MAGA and Trump on them, and they released them so that they went into the ceiling with a noisemaker on them, like those really loud.
Yes, I've had them do that. It's like beep beep. Yeah, it's annoying. That's one of their tactics that they use. And I had a similar situation. Not trying to make it about me. I'm sorry. They say that's really bad in conversations when you make it about you. But
No,
I
like to hear it.
Well, I had an event at Penn State that got shut down too, and I was so annoyed. And there was a lot of Antifa, but then I was with this guy, Gavin McInnes, where there was like actual Proud Boys. He accidentally started the Proud Boys. It's a long story. We don't have to get into that. My point is, there was people physically fighting. Like the school wanted to put it on, but because there was an actual like assault and there's a pepper spray. But it sucks when it got actually shut down, because then they go around and they act like they won, right? So is that how they're acting now, Olivia, now that they did shut it down?
Funny enough, I have no idea because all the accounts blocked me. So unless someone sends it to me, I have no idea how they feel, but they certainly did not win. And University of Washington is definitely, they have it coming towards them. I am working on the whole legal aspect right now. President Trump signed a couple of days ago an executive order that universities need to promote and ensure free speech on their campus, and University of Washington does not do that. So that's definitely something I'm looking into taking care of. I feel that it's very important that we get that out there, because free speech is what powers our nation. And if we can't even have debate or conversation on our universities, then what are we actually teaching students?
You're exactly right. I mean, that's the whole point. We want young people, and even if they have different viewpoints, like, you have to admit, I think you would agree, you defend their right to protest even against you. But it's like once they start breaking glass and stuff, then the school has to worry about liabilities and stuff. That's where it
Exactly.
gets really.
Yeah, I love free speech. I think it's great that they protested. I absolutely welcome it. However, it went from a choreographed line dancing event out front of the building to blocking off the street and essentially forcing the police officers to bundle me in police gear to escort me out of the building. I couldn't even go back to my hotel room and get my stuff. It was that unsafe.
Well, trust me, they just wanted to get out there and dance because they're all, let's be real, a bunch of trans homosexuals. No offense to them, but I'm just saying that's what they love to do. A show. What is it? I can't even think of the term that I'm trying to think. They like Broadway shows, is what I'm trying to think. They love that dancing. And what's the movie where they dance like that in L.A.?
No idea.
Gosh, I have to look this up right now. It reminds me of that dancing. Somebody in the chat tell me. It's saying your audio. When I play the video, it messes up your audio. Okay, thank you for telling me that in the chat. What is it? The dancing movie in LA with Ryan Reynolds, I think. You know what is it? You know what it's called, Olivia. You don't know? It's a chick flick. What is that?
unpopular
La
opinion.
La Land. They said in the chat. Thank you, little things.
I've never seen it. I've never seen that.
I've never seen it either, but I know it won a bunch of awards, and I know it's about dancing, and that kind of looks like La La Land, what they're doing. Yes, Matt Adams in the chat. Thank
Honestly,
you.
The other night felt like a movie. I couldn't believe it was actually happening because Riley Gaines, obviously I work for the Riley Gaines Center. So a couple years ago, she was at San Francisco State and obviously talking about the same topics as me. And she got held hostage in the room, very similar to this, but she had to negotiate her way out like $10 a head to get out of the building.
Is that true? I remember that when she got in, but I wasn't aware that there was a negotiation that went on.
Negotiate a price per person to get her out of the building. But I didn't get to that point. I was able to get out.
So these students, these communist Marxist students are so broke that they can be bought off for $10 for less. You can't even get a Subway sandwich at the student union for $10 this day and age.
Exactly. They're all, I hate to say it, but they're really pathetic. And it's kind of funny. But in reality, I love to see it because it makes us look a lot better as conservatives. So I'll take it.
And people always say that because I think they said that they shut it down because you were agitating them a little bit. But let's be real. It's like they're the ones that are being the agitators. But it is good when this happens to show how obsessed these people are and how weird they are about defending the right for children to get trans surgeries. And it's just so weird that they're this passionate about something that it's like abortion. Abortion, I get why somebody wants to have an abortion. I'm anti-abortion, but it's not something to be proud of. It's not something to be talked about. It's not something that you wear on your sleeve like, I'm a pro-abortionist. I love baby murder. Like, I see those people. I'm like, how could you be so sick? Even if you are pro-abortion, keep that a secret. Don't say that. It's not like a public thing that should be socially acceptable. So it blows my mind that these people are this passionate about something that is so bizarre.
Exactly. Did you see what University of Washington said? Did you see their statement that I posted?
I did see it. Let me pull it up. It's on your Twitter. Hold on. Let me pull it up.
Yeah.
What was it before? I'm on your page right now. Let's see. What was it? Can you
are blaming me and the Turning Point group for the violence that happened on campus. They said that we did not have the intention to have a peaceful discussion, that we came with the desire to be dramatic and get social media content. I was like, how am I being dramatic when the police officers forced me to leave, but they didn't even feel like they could like get me out safely without having to bundle me in police gear. I don't think I was being dramatic.
No, but to their point, they know that anything with Turning Point is going to get millions and millions of hits, So them saying that is not really, and I'm not even trying to side with them. I'm just trying to be like, of course they're saying that you're getting content because Turning Point's one of the biggest conservative organizations in the world, so it's going to get millions of views. They hate that. They do not like that. I
didn't go there with the intention of like all of this happening, of course, because
you went on the intention to go speak to kids. I mean, come on, that's why you're there. But
I've been to other campuses, like that's what I do. Like the last year, I went to a couple different campuses, and to be fair, no one knows who I am, and that's fine. Obviously, I'm just like trying to share my story to the 10 students that show up to my events. I wasn't going for this. Like for them to assume that I was going to have like a bunch of people there and just try to get social media content is hilarious because I don't have that many people show up to my events. If it were Riley, maybe it'd be different because people know who she is. So yeah, they're crazy.
Well, Olivia, just because you're not, internationally known, doing activism and standing up for what's right, doesn't matter how big or small your following is, in my opinion. But this is the other thing. When you got that F, was it, I don't know if you clarify this, was it an F in the entire course? You got an F in the course or just an F on that assignment?
So the project was worth half of my grade. So when she gave me a 0%, it by default gave me a 50% in class. I had 100 before it. So it by default gave me a 50%.
But you're telling me on your transcript, because of this, you have an F.
Well, okay, so that's the thing. So I was able to get my grade changed after like months and months.
Retroactively, yes, because I was able to do that for a class. They retroactively changed it. So you were able to get it changed. Because on your transcript, an F, that's going to affect you. It can technically affect you, even from an employer to see, why'd you get an F in this class? Like, it just sticks out like a sore thumb, especially if you have all A's and B's, you know what I mean? It looks crazy.
Itself sticks out as a sore thumb. I was a chemistry major. I already graduated. I got my chemistry degree, and now I have a women's gender studies course on my transcript. For what reason? For what? I don't need.
What were you able to get it retroactively changed to?
I got an A. I got 100%.
Oh, there you go. Good. But did you have to sue him? Did you have to get legal involved?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. See, as soon as you do that, they realize, look, our teacher's a nut job. What happened to the teacher? I'm sure they're still teaching. They probably got a raise too.
Oh, they
somehow.
are. They're teaching the same class. It's hilarious. And now the professor goes by they, them pronouns instead of she, her. So
Oh my.
I tipped her over the edge, I guess.
Wow, Olivia, you made them transition. So it was the teacher was trans. That's why it was such a big deal.
I don't think that teacher knows what they are. I don't even know. But have you ever seen the picture of the professor?
Let me pull it up. What's her name? Let me Google it.
Melanie Nipper.
Melanie Nipper?
Yes.
That sounds weird. I hope nothing perverted comes up. Oh my gosh, look at Melanie. Hold on, let me share it. Melanie is a piece of work over here. This is awesome. Oh, let me get this. Melanie Nipper. Share. Look at this. Look at Melanie right here. Is this what Melanie used to look like? Or that's a different Melanie?
I think
that's different.
Her. I don't know.
Is that her? Yeah, maybe that's her. I mean,
that's
she's
her.
Not cute, but she used to look a little bit better. She kind of looked feminine there, right? And now she's a boy. Now. Like, yeah, I know. She looks terrible.
Yeah. But because of her, I'm on like the National White Supremacy Archives. Have you ever seen that? You're probably on it too at this point. Any conservative voice. But
you should be on it. That's a good list, to be on that. But that's what she calls you, a white supremacist?
Yeah, apparently is white supremacy. Well, okay. So before the project thing happened, there was another assignment in class. It was like a discussion board, which I hate those. But we had to talk about why all white men were privileged. And I said, well, actually, I don't think that's fair. And then we got in a heated discussion and I got points off.
No, see, once again, I would have failed you too, because if you are born white, we are privileged. We're badass. We're white. They're not going to pull us over as much. They're not going to expect us of a crime. They're going to know we're going to pay child support. Listen, I'm not just saying whites. I think we're all equal, but there are stereotypes that apply to different races. Let's just be real. And that's what society tries to make us be so politically correct.
But to take points off of a student's assignment when I say it's not fair to generalize and say that all white men are privileged is ridiculous. It'd be different if I said, no, there's no white privileged men out there. Like,
I'm the most privileged. I can walk anywhere. I go to the most black places. I don't care. I'm white. They're not going to mess with me because they know I'm going to call the cops. So no, I'm proud to be white. But Olivia, now, what other campuses are you going to go speak at? Because now you need to keep this going. You're going to be protested everywhere you go now because they saw how successful this was. It will just inspire more copycat protests.
It's funny because it's funny you bring that up. I have a couple events that are already planned, and then a bunch of requests actually just came in from a bunch of Turning Point groups. I think they want to get me in. I am at Dayton, February 6th or 7th. I think 6th. So that one will be fun. It's actually in my home state. So hopefully hopefully Melanie Nipper will show up. I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, right. You would. Melanie Nipper's on so many hormones. They probably can't even leave their house if they're not going to school. And they're probably a freak. What about all these teachers though? And I don't want to just overgeneralize, but a lot of these teachers that are into all this weird gender ideology stuff, it's kind of and this is just, they look it up. Riley talks about it. This is some sort of sexual kink that autogynephilia. Like this is not them. They say, oh, we're born in the wrong body, but it's like this weird perverted thing where they want to go pee in the women's restroom. And it's like a kleptomaniac, how there's people that are rich, but they'll still steal because the way it makes them feel. They like to do this because it makes them feel some sort of way. Like they're special.
Like when you go into the women's bathroom and on the back of the door, it says, haha, a trans woman peed here. I'm like, okay, why do you need to make that known? Like, why did you have to put that there as like a threat to women? It's ridiculous.
It is weird. And that is what's going on. I just saw this other post. It was gross. I don't even want to pull it up, but it was like a trans woman, and they looked kind of like a woman, but they're like, you don't want this pee. If I can't pee in the women's restroom, I guess you want me peeing in front of your husband. And she kind of was looking, she looked gross. I'm just saying that's what these people are so sick. Everything's about sex. Everything's about degeneracy. Yeah. And I'm not even trying to be like, I'm some holier than thou person, but it's just they're going too far when they're trying to transition kids. So have you spoken up about that too, about on campuses? They really don't like that about the not allowing gender therapy for children under 18.
So funny you say that because on University of Washington's campus, I haven't edited the video and posted it yet, but I will soon. I did a woman on the street. Of course, most of the students hate me there, so they just walked away.
Wait, Olivia, now time out. First of all, you're a feminist. You just called a woman on the street. The bit is called a man on the street. Do not. Now you're a leftist. Now you're like Melanie Nipper. That's exactly what Melanie Nipper say. Oh, and I'd be like, if I was Melanie's boss, I'd go down and film some man on the street. She'd be like, it's a woman on the street.
Hey, I called it man on the street, but my work, like in all the emails, they put woman on the street. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
Wait, but that's like pronouns in your damn bio. What do you mean? I mean, I get what you're saying, woman on the street, but the bit is called man. But okay.
Yeah, no. Okay, so I did my man on the street at University of Washington, and I asked people the first question. Should a 10-year-old be able to consent to a permanent tattoo? Obviously, they all say no. So then I say, should a 10-year-old be able to consent to gender or sex reassignment surgery? Oh, yeah, absolutely. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like, should there be a minimum age? No. Should there be a minimum age for body piercings? Yeah, 18. So you can cut off a functioning organ at whatever age, like 10 or 8, whatever. Someone even said that 2 should be the minimum age. I'm like, are you kidding me? But no ear piercings until 16 or belly button piercing until 18. These people are actually insane.
It is. And it's just simple logic. Like you asked the same thing with abortion, if a pregnant woman gets murdered and the baby dies, if that's just a clump of cells, why is that a double homicide? In Texas, like if a drunk driver hits a pregnant woman and the baby and her die, they get charged with a double homicide. So according to the law, it is a life in their stomach, but they're just so hypocritical. They say it's a clump of cells. So, I mean, we're in the upside down world, Olivia. We need people like you calling it out, going to campuses, getting protested. I really hope you don't get hurt. I mean, I think these cops, in my experience, I speak at a lot of the schools, the cops are pretty cool and pretty fair down the middle. At least they have been with me and protecting me. And did you feel like you were protected? They didn't care that you're a conservative, did they?
Yeah. I would like to give a special thank you to the University of Washington Police Department. Of course, we were very outnumbered with 10 security officers to the protesters.
You had 100 protesters there.
200.
More. 200, yeah. I mean, 100, yeah.
A lot for a nobody being on campus. So I was like really concerned. But the police officers, obviously outnumbered. I do think they did what they could in the situation. Because it's not like they could just go out to the protesters and like start arresting a bunch of people. That's not like a likely situation. But they got me out safely. They got the Turning Point students out safely. And at the end of the day, no one was hurt. So I do appreciate what they did. Obviously, University of Washington knew. Oh, did I tell you this? University of Washington knew about this event because the protests, like they've been putting out flyers for weeks now. They offered safe spaces and counseling for those who were triggered by the transphobic speaker coming to campus.
Yeah, that's them virtue signaling and they wanted this to happen, but they also don't want it to happen. It's weird. The university's in a weird situation where they want to be supportive of their right to protest, but they also don't want it to go too far, and they don't want Turning Point to get clicks. Like, it puts them in this kind of moral conundrum where like they have to protect free speech, but they also want to protect these trans weirdos. It's weird.
But University of Washington definitely is digging themselves a hole in this one. A couple days before Trump became president again, they actually had to settle with the Biden administration because they've had issues just like this in the past. So this is not a unique case by any means for that campus specifically. So I'm honestly glad this happened because we can bring awareness back to the campus. I feel like everyone forgot about what was happening on their campus, and I'm glad we can kind of stir things up again to, hopefully bring free speech back to the campus.
Look at this. Look at Jonathan Cho. He just showed this where he's getting assaulted. I don't know. Yeah, you can hear that. Look at this. Hold on.
These people are so insufferable.
They're doing the Free Palestine.
Look at how many Antifa.
Look, I think we're about to see where he gets hit. Look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to real fight on that.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Look, he's running away. Look, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What's going on?
He was at my event. Obviously, he is amazing. Just going back.
Jonathan's awesome. He's my buddy. He's the man. But look at this.
He's amazing. Oh my goodness. If I go back, he's got to be there again.
Look, he's got a black eye. I mean, he's bleeding. Damn.
Yeah, they definitely are violent. I didn't get touched, but I had, people with the lights, like basically an inch away from my face. The police officer had to like step in between us, like give her some space, which obviously they did not. They kept being right in my face and the other students. So luckily no one got hurt at my event.
Well, that one guy was bleeding. One guy got hurt.
Yeah.
You need to send him an apology. No, I'm just kidding. It's not your fault that he got hurt. Well, so what's next? You just said you're going to speak at Dayton. That's your hometown. and you graduated. So what do? You work for Riley, and now you're just going to go out there and do this, activism. I think that's really smart that you're doing that.
Yeah, so I'm an ambassador of the Riley Gaines Center at the Leadership Institute. We basically go to campuses and different events and speak about protecting women's sports, free speech, against DEI, a bunch of different topics that, we need to cover. And it's kind of weird because it's me and a couple other girls, and we're all like in our low 20s. And we're the ones out here telling grown adults that men actually can't be women. It's kind of funny to think about us all being put in this position, but I know none of us would trade it for anything in this world, because hopefully we're making a change, even if it's for like one girl out there who gets to make it to college with a scholarship, then it's totally worth it. I would put my safety on the line any day if it meant that I protect freedom of speech and protect women's sports for, the future generation of girls. So
I agree with that 100%. If you protect one girl's scholarship, that she doesn't have to lose it to a biological male, I think that your work is admirable if that's the case, and I'm sure that has been the case. And has Trump signed any legislation so far that limits, boys competing against girls? I know some states have, but
well,
and is Riley, are you guys expecting him to sign something soon?
He did. He defined male and female.
Yeah, he said this too. But in California, this better than me. They have it where even if you went through puberty, you can still identify as a woman and play. The videos I'm saying where there's like that 16-year-old boy playing with the girls in basketball and he's just dominating.
Yes.
So California, you can still do that. I mean, they're doing this right now in high school.
You know what I want? I want an earthquake to happen. No one gets hurt, but like just separate California off of America and just like go over there. And honestly, Washington can go with them. I'm done with California. It's like a lost cause over there. Although I would like to go speak at some campuses there. I was at UC Berkeley last year. That was fun.
Yes.
It wasn't as bad.
It was David Lomas is my man. He always hooks it up. Was he the one that organized the Berkeley event?
I don't remember the name, but probably. It was Riley. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is it. Let me pull this up. Let me share this screen. And before you go, I want to show this. This is the boy, the 16-year-old boy that is dominating. It's Outkick. And is it Riley's podcast on Outkick, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So this is it.
They all look the
We don't need the audio. Look, I know, but you can tell the boy. Look how much bigger he is.
Oh my goodness.
Just dominating. And this is in California.
How could you be the parent of that child and be proud? Like, I'm sorry. Maybe
it's probably the parents that want to transition to them. You know what I mean? Let's be real. The parents are probably more sick than the kid.
That guy kind of looks like my cousin who is self-identifying as trans, which is hilarious. Everyone always tells me, like, you don't understand the trans struggles. I'm like, well, I have a cousin who wants to be a girl. So I definitely have seen how, like, tears families apart.
Well, what does your aunt and uncle say about your cousin?
Oh, well, my uncle texted me and told me I tore the entire family apart. So I don't know. I haven't even talked to them in years. So it's crazy. But they started him on hormones. He goes by some weird name now. Goes to a college with like 40% trans population. So honestly,
time out, Olivia. What is a trans college? What's the name of this college? We need to go speak at that college.
I would never. They probably don't even have Turning Point anywhere near it.
Well, what's it called?
I think it's in Portland.
Oh, Portland's wild. But you don't know the name of it, and you're telling me a lot of the students.
I think it's Reed, REED, Reed University.
Reed, yeah. That I've heard of Reed University. So that's like, so their trans population is like.
It's very high. It's like this. Like if you look up the most trans-friendly university, it's one of the top ones.
In your high school, how many trans? Because in my high school, we had one gay guy. Maybe there's other people that are secretly gay. Orlando, and he was actually pretty well liked. Everybody kind of liked Orlando, but everybody teased him for being gay. But there's one gay guy in my whole school. When you went to high school, how many trans and gay people were in your high school when you graduated?
Not that I can remember. We just had someone who like tried to light the bathroom on fire one time. That's about as crazy as. Actually, at one point there, I'm pretty sure they were talking about, we were the Indians, and they wanted to change it to something like the Munakam Monarchs or something because Indians was racist. I don't think they actually did it, but it was like in the talks for a while. I was like, that's kind of sad. But I went to high school near Chicago, so definitely not as fun being in a blue city. I'm so glad I'm out of there though. So.
I know the gun violence is crazy. The mayor is terrible. I mean, the new one's worse than Brandon. What's his name? Brandon Johnson or whatever. He's worse than Lori Lightfoot. What is the mayor of Chicago's name? I forget his name, but
Maybe Pitzer.
he sucks. He sucks. Where do you live now, though? Where is
like north of Cincinnati.
Okay. Well, that's probably.
I'm in like a little red city, which I kind of like it. But I travel so much, so I don't get to spend a lot of time here. So.
And Ohio's freaking cold right now, though. You want to get the heck out of there, don't you? Or is it not that bad? Ohio State won the damn college, whatever it's called. What is it even called? National championship?
I'm a Notre Dame fan, born and raised. So I'm kind of salty. Everywhere I go, I see. So, okay, in Ohio, I see a lot of red hats, and I have to see if it's a MAGA hat or an Ohio State hat. Most of the time, Ohio State, and then I'm disappointed.
Yeah, you don't like the Buckeyes. F the Buckeyes. Well, why didn't you go to, you're very smart. Why didn't you go to Ohio State?
Because I'm not a fan. I actually got into Notre Dame and I was going to go there. So,
but Notre Dame is so expensive though too. Where your parents like, gosh,
that's why I didn't go. It was like $70,000 a year, and college is a scam. So
it is a scam. It is a scam. It would have been a good experience, but you got a great experience saving money. Trust me. But
I guess I can't say I regret it completely. Because it led me to where I am. But yeah, college is definitely a scam. Avoid it if you can, people. Yeah, it's not.
Unless you guys want to be like a doctor, or you have to be, a specific engineer, because you have to have an engineering degree. But if you're an engineer, you're probably already like school, you're smart. But if you like hate school and you guys don't know what you're going to do, I don't know if that's the best option, just going and taking a bunch of general ed classes and trying to figure it out and smoke weed the whole time. Like that's probably not the most conducive thing.
I feel stupid spending all my time in college because I was a chemistry major. I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. And here I am traveling to different schools to tell people that men actually aren't women. So my life has certainly changed, and I'm definitely not going to use my chemistry degree anytime soon. So I feel a little ripped off.
Well, Breaking Bad was one of my favorite shows. So if everything does go bad for you and you do get let go, you can always go out in the desert and make crystal methamphetamine and sell that now with your chemistry degree. So I think you're fine. I think the rest of your life is taken care of.
For sure.
All right, Olivia. So before you go, tell the people, how can they find you? How can they support you? And how can they come see you speak at one of these campuses? And people don't realize these Turning Point events, guys, even if you're not going to that college, you can come to these events. I love when people
all free.
They're all free.
Yeah. Well, all my social media handles are Olivia Krolczyk. It's Krolczyk. Yes, it's Polish. Yes, it sucks.
Krolczyk. It is hard to say. People, what do they say? Krolczyk, Krolczyk.
For sure. Or you can look at therileygaines.org, where you can sign up for like free Title IX training. You can see our future events. You can request me as a speaker, a free speaker for universities, or you can donate if you want to. But yeah, you can find me at any of those places for sure.
That's awesome. And are you happy that Trump is going to name it the Gulf of Mexico? Or because I don't know, that I kind of like going, I go to Cancun occasionally. I kind of like having that Mexican international feel, but I don't want to be a globalist. So I'm okay with him changing it. But, I do like different cultures. What do you think?
I think it's kind of funny. I'm down for it. I think Gulf of America's it's good. I think it's just a good, like, hey, F you, everyone. And I think it'd be cool if he can pull it off for sure.
Watch, he probably is. And I hope he actually changes like Washington, D.C. to Trump, D.C. I think he's trying to change the name of Washington to Trump Town. That would be a lot better.
We need like a Trump Tower in D.C. I know they can't because of like the height building restrictions or whatever, but I think that would be cool.
I heard he's going to take back that hotel that he had, and then he's going to relicense it. And now I think it's a Waldorf Astoria or whatever. I don't know. We will see. Well, a lot of big things coming up, guys. Everybody, I want you to go follow Olivia. I want you to go watch the videos of her getting protested. She handled it great. Turning Point handled it great. I just want to say to all the students that were there, the reps, the Turning Point kids, you guys are awesome. And if all those twinks want to go and dance at any of my speaking events, I'll be at SMU, LSU, as well as University of Texas in Dallas. Please, if any of you transgender people want to go out there and do a little La La Land out in front of my speeches, I would greatly appreciate that. Olivia, is there anything else you want to say before we end the show?
I might show up to those events and dance too. They choreograph some good line dancing. We'll be out there.
Let's be real. They dance. That's what they like. They wanted to protest you, but they really wanted to go there and dance with
I think they just wanted an excuse. And they were playing country music. I think they just didn't want to go to a country bar and start
They were playing country music. Like, well, they don't like country music. Oh my! Were they playing Shabuzi though? Does Shabuzi count as country music?
Mm-hmm. But Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what this next school semester holds. But once again, you guys can feel free to request me as a speaker, and I'd love to come to your campus or whatever event you're hosting. But thank you very much also for what you do, reporting on all the stuff. It is important, gets all of the stories out there that need to be heard. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, Olivia. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep helping out Riley. Riley's a great, not just activist, but she's a good leader for women that are getting unfairly treated when it comes to not just collegiate sports, but also high school sports. Ridiculous. So happy that you guys are exposing that. All right, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, clip this, share this, tag Olivia. I love you guys. We'll be going live again here in 1 hour at 6 p.m. Central. Talk to you guys soon. Peace. Bye, Olivia.
Bye. Thank you.